Welcome to the story so far. I'm not sure which episode is this one, but as I mentioned before, what I'm trying to do is just to have a bit of a legacy space here on my YouTube channel, where I will be doing in a way that I guess it makes sense. How would you go about purchasing property for self-funded retirement? So by the time you hit your retirement age, you're not going to be needing the assistance from the government, your kids, your family, etc. So there's a couple of ways, there's a couple of things I want to talk about today. The first one, and most important one, you will never ever buy a piece of real estate if you don't submit a written offer. Okay? So you can do all the research, you can attend all the seminars, you can read all the books, you can talk to all the friends, you can think in your mind that you are pretty good at it, but until you don't write down an offer and send it to a real estate agent with the intention to purchase a property in particular, you will never buy a property. I know this sounds pretty simple, right? But I know there's a lot of people that never get to this stage. They read all the books, they go to all the seminars, they get very cynical, and they get caught up in something that I wrote down here. Beware, analysis paralysis. Okay, you never want to be. You sure want to do your due diligence. You're absolutely right if you think about the fact that you will need legal and financial advice. Buying a property is a big financial commitment. But if you do that and you never submit a written offer, you are caught in analysis paralysis, okay? That means that you're analyzing things too much, you let fear or any other excuse kicked in, and you never wrote a written offer. The paper that I've got here is the template that I use for mine, okay? I'm happy to share some in the notes for you, but as I go through some of the things that you need to think about, I'm happy to share this with you. Okay. Now, I'll go back to the other side of the board here. This property data. We've talked about that in the past, but at the moment, there seems to be a conflict of interest between Domain, which is one of the biggest property data services here in Australia, the ownership. And the fact that depending on who you go and talk to or which subscription or where do you get your property data from, the prices, median prices for areas will be different. The way I like to think about that is if you look at enough properties, in this particular case I've got, if you look at 100 properties, as in if you sit in front of your computer and look at about 100 properties, or if you drive around the particular area that you want to invest, as I used to do, I don't do that anymore. You have a look at a bunch of properties, and then you will get the price in your mind. Don't worry, that'll come with time. Okay, spent in the field. Okay, you will see enough properties physically and online in a particular area that you will know what price is and you will know what value is. Okay, now don't look at so many that you get caught up again in analysis paralysis. Okay, beware. All right, you've been warned. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, going back to the written offers, why do you need to submit a written offer? Most agents will never ever consider you serious until the point that you send a written offer. Okay, and I created my own one here. It's just a blank template where I can insert. You can't see it from there, but as I said, I'm happy to share it with you if anyone's interested. Blank space for the address, blank space for the price, and I've got my terms here, okay? I'll come back to that in a second. But it shows that you mean business, okay? When you submit a written offer to an agent, he knows that you're pre-approved for finance, you're ready to seek your financial advice, and that you know what you're doing. Most agents won't even consider you until you get to this point. Okay? You will never, as I said before, you will never buy anything until you submit a written offer. Pretty straightforward. And now some states, lately I've been venturing out into South Australia, Adelaide, Tasmania. I've purchased property in there in the last 2-3 years. And they seem to have their own kind of ways of doing things, so it varies from state to state. But again, I'll fill their format and then I will include my format. Okay, here I will share right now what are some of the things that I include. So my offer is subject to finance approval from my bank. Okay, builder and pest inspection, so you have that in writing. So in any case, if the property is not structurally sound, for example, you can pull out of that property as long as you're within the cool-off period. Seek financial legal advice. Remember, you're doing these alongside a conveyancer. If you're not sure, you're paying for that service, might as well use it, right? If you don't know what it is, please feel free to ask the question below, okay? That's what the comment section is for, okay? Subject to the contract for sale, satisfactory contract for sale, as in there won't be any clauses that will go against you when you purchase that particular property. Again, as I said before, you're working with a conveyancer, they will have a look at the contract and they will say to you, such and such, there's nothing nasty in there, I think this contract is good, we suggest if you're happy with what you're about to do, proceed with the purchase. Okay, so that's normally the conversation you'll have with your conveyancer. And the other one that I used to have subject to my business partner approval. And again, this is something that if you've done all your due diligence, but at the end of the day, something's not stacking up and you know it's not analysis paralysis, it's something that you consider, it could be a deal breaker, then you can pull out during the cool-off period because you stated that you could, right? They accepted your offer terms, okay? And now, one last thing in this episode. So remember, you're not going to buy anything ever until you submit your written offer. I'm happy to email you my blank template, but always remember, seek financial advice, seek legal advice. You're paying for it, right? In a conveyancer. They can help you out. Normally, they won't charge you anything extra, okay? Rely on that. Give them a phone call. Tell them what you're going to do. Now, one thing that I'm finding, you know how social media these days seems to guess, inspire, and listen, and then all of a sudden they start sending you stuff that's related to what you've been looking, which is pretty weird. Anyway, I'm finding on my Instagram page there's a lot of real estate gurus that are coming out with, oh, invest with no money down, the old way of investing in real estate is over, you can do such and such and such with no money and that sort of stuff. And that's another part of the beware. So my beware today has got, don't let analysis paralysis freeze you from doing anything. And at the same time, I don't think if it's too good to be true, then I will seriously reconsider it, as in no money down, so you're going to be the king of real estate without spending a cent. Really? I doubt it. And as I said in one of my past episodes, why don't you have any money? I think that's where you should start. You should start by gathering the discipline of trying to put a bit of money on the side. Okay? And that discipline will see you getting financially smarter and therefore having a little deposit to buy a property. Okay? So yeah, written offers. Again, thanks for watching. If you have, subscribe, share with friends, watch it a couple of times. Go to my back episodes. As I said before, I'm trying to do a program, if you like, where you can have a look at my experience and the steps that you need to do in order to buy a piece of real estate. I've done this dozens of times, if not more, a lot more, and it's always the same thing. A few things will vary, but the sequence, the program, the steps that I'm sharing with you remain the same. Have a great week. Thank you for watching.